Once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw!
Every day in America, suicides among the American military number at least 22 per day. This is far too many, but this number is a baseline. It is probably far greater, sadly. In conjunction with the movie The Keeper, which highlights a veteran who is suffering from PTSD and is contemplating ending his life, but decides not to do so and gets better. We want to help people remember and have in front of them the information that they need to highlight this tragedy and to hopefully reach out and help someone who is struggling in the same way as some of those were on the name tapes that our character carried throughout the movie The Keeper. So for 22 days, the Southern Fried Podcast is going to keep a sad number. We're going to keep a running tally using the baseline number 22, starting on September 2nd. And each day that we're on the air, we'll give the updated numbers. We want to highlight this not to promote a number, but to make a difference. There may be someone you know you need to reach out to, listen to, get the information to them. There's not a one-size-fits-all, but we need to let our veterans know that we care, we want to help, and that there's resources for them. The Southern Fried Podcast is committed to do their part to bring this number down. 1 is too many. 22 is an atrocity.
Well, hello, everybody. How are y'all doing on this hump day evening?
Hump day!
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Rob and Dave here with Southern Fried Podcast. Hope y'all know who we are by now. I'm the good-looking one, in case you're wondering. The Cornbread Nation, I know you're out there. We love all you guys.
Absolutely. We have a visitor already, real quick. Coco.
Hi, Coco. Coco's photobombing you again.
I know.
I bet there's a Kaylee right there, too. There she is.
Yeah, they're a tag team.
Yeah.
She's in there listening to music. Wanted to jump in the stream for a second. She says she's gone.
Okay.
I'm gonna go do handstand.
It's Super Dave. Super Dave. You remember the stunt man, Super Dave? You remember him?
Oh yeah. Showtime.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you could qualify and do that job.
Now, I never liked being shot out of a cannon or wrecking cars or anything. Although I did wreck a couple of cars. I never did it for sport or for fame or anything like that. It was just because I was an idiot. You know, so I never got paid for my accidents and, mistakes or not like that. Although I did have to pay. There was a lot of payment made by me, but I never got paid for it. So Super Dave, he deserves that. Although a lot of people have called me Super Dave over my life. I'd say, Super Dave Osborne, So yeah, I remember that. That was fun entertainment back in the day. Of course, I was very young and crazy, I guess. I thought that was funny. Nowadays, I might think it's not so funny. I don't know. Sometimes you look back in your past, Rob, and things you laughed at, you thought was funny. You look at it now and you're like, why was I ever thinking that was funny? Like, why did I laugh at that? Some things are timeless. Old Saturday Night Live, classic. I can still laugh at them. But there are some things that it's like, okay, this does not. It's like an old scary movie. You know, some of them stand the test of time. Some of them you're like, this is really lame.
You know, the one of my favorite comedians of all time, and I'm not going to be able to say his name right this second. Hey there, Sugar Britches. We see you down there. Don't you think you're hiding from us? Uh, did the opening for Saturday Night Live. Oh, what was his name? Had a movie about him. He was on Taxi.
Which one? It was like you talking about the guy that played the drugged out guy, Jim, or are you talking
No,
about Danny DeVito, or
no.
um, I don't know, man.
Uh,
I was too
Foreign
busy
guy.
looking. I was too busy looking at Mary Lou Henner, man.
I'm gonna get this. I gotta.
Well, you gave us fair warning. You was not going to be able to remember.
Yeah.
Daniel Howe is the hardest working man in Chatsworth, Georgia tonight. I hope you've had a good day. I don't know if you had to work today, but if you did, I know you're the hardest working man in Chatsworth, Georgia. I don't know who was the hardest working man in Colquitt, Georgia, but I
Andy
know who's
Kaufman.
Kaufman. I honestly never liked that character. I
No,
did.
but his comedy was so. It wasn't comedy. It was he was playing jokes all the time.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
his
I'm sure
opening
I
thing
laughed at
for
some
Saturday
of
Night
it,
Live,
but
when he played the record for Mighty Mouse, he just stood up there and here I come to save the day, and then
there were times I probably laughed at him, but it's just not my type of humor. You know, I told you I like that the physical and dry type of humor. You know, I'm not big on one liners and all that.
yeah,
But to me, a look, if you're really good, a look can be just as funny as anything that's ever said. To me.
Daniel, we hate to hear that. We'll say some prayers for your wife
Oh,
tomorrow.
absolutely, man.
We going to Bubba.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry to hear that. You know, it's funny. We just, surgery just seems like you hear that stuff and it's so common, but it's always there's always danger with that stuff. So
Yeah,
you want to pray. I know I did when I had surgery.
yeah.
I woke
Hallelujah.
up in the recovery room and it'll be tomorrow, so we'll be praying tomorrow. Uh,
Uh,
it, I woke up and everything was white, and the nurse had her back to me, and I couldn't really sit. I had my glasses on, and I'm like, am I in heaven? Everything was white, beautiful. I couldn't really see good. She goes, no, you're still down here with us sinners.
yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm still here then. That's okay.
Oh my goodness.
I imagine they hear some crazy stuff, people waking up out of the fog of surgery. You know, there's no
They
telling what was
sometimes
said.
they hear. Sometimes, depending on the person, they hear crazy stuff on the way to surgery. Because I know when they was rolling me down for mine, I was talking to them. Asked them, I said, "Oh, I'm in Dothan, Alabama. Please, dear Lord, tell me y'all aren't Alabama fans rolling me down here for surgery."
They
They were
probably
like,
said they're Auburn.
they said, "Yep, yep." Who you root for? I said, "The dogs." Oh my goodness! You may wake up, and you may not.
That's
Uh,
right. That's
it's
right.
not cold quit. It's call quit.
That's the North Georgia pronunciation.
Mm,
Now
okay.
wait, no, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Let's just hold right here. Let's hold at the
Yeah,
30,000 foot level. We got the plane on autopilot right now.
okay.
That's that whole statement right there. That's not Robert do it. She just did it and throwed your name on it.
Yeah.
She didn't say Robert tell him how to pronounce it. She said tell him how to pronounce it, and it says what it is, and then laughs. So that's really
Yeah.
her addressing me, but throwed your name out there, like put you on the point. She's
I'm
like
going to have
she's
to
like
tell you how to pronounce it.
no, but she's
Exactly.
already done it.
Uh, don't get her started. She'll drive up there and straighten you out in a heartbeat, Bubba. Oh, now you've done it. But
Just
yeah,
when you
you
think
pronounced it coal quit. It's not coal quit. We don't do coal here. It's call quit. That's the way you can remember.
it don't even sound right to say call quit or whatever you're saying. It don't even say it
It don't
sound right.
matter what if it sounds
Call
right or not. It is
call
right.
quit.
Okay.
Was
We're
there
gonna
somebody
call it.
was there
Maybe we'll
somebody
start
named
calling
Call?
you. Maybe we'll start calling you Mr. Cordell.
Oh, that's fine. I am a Cordell, so like
Cordell.
it don't matter either. We're all from the same root, man. So it's like Caldwell, Cordell, Caldwell, all that. But yeah, Call, was there a person named Call who quit? Is that what it was? Hey, Call, did you quit? That's what it sounds like. Call, did you quit? I think cold quit sounds much better. See, that's a Southern drawl. So y'all
No.
are almost pronouncing it like somebody in Florida would. Y'all like chopping it up. Like that's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, I'm pronouncing it more like a Kentucky or something. Cold quit.
Kentucky. You look like you from a Kentucky.
Hazard County, baby.
Oh my god! No, you from up in what was that? Illinois?
You don't even remember.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. You from Northern Illinois?
You don't
That's where
remember
you
the name of the
born.
town. You don't remember the name of the town.
Don't matter. I know where you're from, though. North of the Mason Dixon. You kind of proving that because you can't say. Let's see. A lot of northern folks.
Oh man, I'm just the shots are coming. It's Wednesday. The shots are coming.
Ah.
Northern folk. Is that the where'd y'all go? What's that town y'all went to where they said the hoity-toity people? That's what that sounds hoity-toity. The Northern folk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, you Northern folk. That's the way y'all talk. Well,
Yeah,
I am Northern, North Georgia, baby.
well, a lot of you northern women, y'all pronounce it that way. And
Women?
what? We established this Monday night.
No, we did not.
Yes, we did. All of you girls crumble your biscuits up when you put gravy on them.
No, there's some that say the other way. But I will tell,
Jenny in there.
and
I
I
could hear
do.
Jenny laughing because I said, "All you northern women," she just died right there.
Yeah, it's on tonight. But I will say, and I've got another one I want to throw out there tonight because we're going to find out where we divide on this. But I did ask some people at work. We was having a little thing Tuesday morning, and so there's like 4 or 5 people in there, and I did ask them how they did their gravy biscuit.
Yeah. And the guys said, "Well, I just break it in half." And the women said, "I crumble it up."
Shut up. Just shut up.
That's amazing. Hey, is that shirt pink?
It is. You got a problem with it? You can't rock the pink? I mean, come on, man.
Hey, if it works for you. I mean, you do crumble your biscuit up and call it cold quit. Real men wear pink. Yeah, real men.
I'm confident. I'm confident in my manhood. Confident.
Yeah.
No. We were then the guy he asked me, and I said that's really good. I'm gonna have to remember that. He even said, because he knows we have the podcast. He said you need to ask this question, and I said, well, that's a really good one because we're divided in our house about that, and it is if you go to well, first of all, do you like ketchup? Do you like ketchup, Rob?
Yeah, ketchup.
Okay, all right. Does the better half in there like ketchup? Because we need to get her input too. Okay,
we both like ketchup.
So you go to a restaurant and you get something, anything, I don't care what it is, with fries. Doesn't matter what the other is, with fries. Do you put your ketchup all over the French fries or put it to the side?
I put mine to the side
I do
because if
too.
you don't, you get it all over your fingers.
My wife and my son, my oldest son, it's all over the French fries. But I always put it to the side. I don't like ketchup on anything. I like it to the side. I just don't like it like that. She didn't answer the question. She played middle of the road there, libertarian. She just said yum ketchup. She's supposed to answer the question.
Probably hadn't had time yet.
On the fries or to the side. My wife just douses just horrible. I'm like, God, it makes me sick. I can't even stand to watch it. I mean, she'll hold the ketchup like this.
I think she was trying to show us how to keep a woman in suspense. She was waiting to tell you.
Oh, okay. But we found out in the same room. We found out there was a big divide there about that. It did not go along gender lines. I'll tell you that. It was just, okay. And then one person said, "I hate ketchup." So,
yeah. Well, I like A1 on my to the side of my French fries too.
You put A1 on French fries?
Yeah.
My gosh.
What? I ain't putting it on a steak if it's done right. What?
I've never seen.
I want to. That's the way a real man.
I've never seen anybody do. No, they don't. Not A1. I've never heard any man order
A1
at a restaurant.
Right. You know how I know? You know how I know that's true? Because that's the way I eat mine. Anything else you want to ask there, big boy? I'll explain it to you.
Mansplain.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, well, you're not 100% one way in that household because Jim just said yuck.
Well, she don't eat steak, so Nah.
Well, that's true, but
she eats barbecue sauce on her potatoes, on her baked potato.
Okay, I wouldn't do that either. But you know me, I'm a picky guy, man.
Yeah, you're a picky eater.
I am.
So
it's funny. I like ketchup. I like it on fries and onion rings. I'm not one of those that puts eggs or even my hash browns. I don't want it on that. I've done it, but I don't like it. I don't put it on my hamburger. It's always to the side. I do, however, and it makes my wife. I've got all my grandkids. They'll do it. Well, the ones that eat ketchup, but like my granddaughter will do it, and it just kills my wife. She can't stand it. I actually dip my potato chips in the ketchup. I actually like that better than the fries and ketchup.
Now look, you getting all over me about French fries with A1, and you're talking about dunking potato chips in ketchup.
I do. Not every kind of potato chip though. It's got to be like a Ruffles or a plain or even barbecue, but that's about it. There's no other type of chip that I'll do that with.
I bet salt and vinegar would be good like that.
Well, I don't like salt. No, I don't like that. My wife does, and my son, but oldest son. I don't like that kind of chip. And Kaylee likes them. She likes that kind. But Kaylee will dip her chips in the ketchup.
I wonder how Cheetos would be in that.
It's really good. I've done that once, maybe.
Cheetos?
Yeah, but I'm really just with the best to me is the Ruffles, the ridges and all. Yeah, it's so good. The salt on that, on those that's already on the potato chips. Oh my goodness, that is so good. I have to watch. I'll eat too much. I'll eat too much of them.
I have. It seems like it's been a while since I've seen it, but I think they make a ketchup potato chip.
I wouldn't like that. I don't think I'd like that. Here's the funny part.
Why not?
I told you I'm odd, man. There's odd things about me. Now, here's the thing. It's funny, and I'll admit it. It's funny. I can eat ketchup, French fries, all that, but I cannot stand after I've eaten. I got to get rid of the garbage. I cannot stand the smell of the ketchup. And like if there's a bag around, I can smell that if it's in the car. I make sure I get rid of it right away. I cannot stand the smell of that. Should you get me a drink?
Mm. So what you're saying is, if someone got a pack of ketchup and opened it, put it in your car, like taped it to the bottom of a seat somewhere, it would drive you nuts till you found it.
Better believe it.
Where's baby
Oh,
boy at? Don't give
he
him
went
no
to work.
out, huh?
He went to work. He told me the other night he was going to jump back on here when he had a night off. He wanted to come on
Yeah,
the
I'm
stream
taking
and
notes too. There,
give us a
don't give
hard
that
time.
baby boy no bacon.
Well, tough on baby boy. But
Mm.
yeah, I
Where's
don't
that?
like the smell. But I'll tell you what I did one time. I like to mess with people. I've done
Yeah.
this more than once. We were traveling down to Atlanta to do some ministry. It was me and Lynn and Kaylee, and Kaylee's mom was with us. I remember why, but it might have been one other person. And we stopped at one of them travel centers. And everybody, it's a place we normally stop. Everybody gets, goes to the restroom, gets something. Sometimes they have restaurants there. Sometimes we'll eat. It depends on what kind of time we had before we had to be somewhere. And so I might get gas or whatever. So what I did is I ran in and I got into the bathroom first, and then everybody went. So they're all taking their time. So I went and got this really wild smelling car freshener, like one of those you hang on the mirror. But what I do is I hide it. I hide it in the car. And then I'll go back in and I'll meet them as they're coming out of the bathroom. And I remember this one was like a coconut / watermelon smell or something, So
Ooh.
it's a hot summer day. We're in there for about 40 minutes. It's had plenty of time to permeate through the car. So here we all walk out together. And hey, Tar, man, that's fine. We're glad you're here. Anyway, I come back out to the car and get in, and of course everybody goes, "What's that smell? It smells like a coconut cake with a watermelon or something." And of course, Kylie's mom said, "Dad, did you do something?" I'm like, "Do what? I was in the store with y'all." You've done something. You've put something in this car that smells. and I hide it so good they can't even find it. So it's like they're stuck with it.
Yeah.
I'll get under the seat and I will pin it up between like the metal frame or something and the cushion
Yeah.
part. I mean, like where nobody's going to get down there and look for that. It's the funniest thing.
One of the funniest ones that I saw was a guy put on one of those little T-Rex outfits. He was going to go out, and his wife was going to get him to go out and meet the kids at the school bus.
Yeah.
But it's got that little hole in the back. Yeah, so you lets air in. And she had one of those poot in a can sprays.
I thought everybody had a hole in the back that let the air out. What are you talking about?
Oh, she filled it up.
Oh.
She filled it up with that poot in a can spray. Just filled him up. And he's
Oh.
out there. You can hear him going, whoa, and he's laying on the ground rolling, trying to.
Oh man.
He did get her back.
I did.
That's
I did
amazing.
this one time too. I took my I took it. I had some. I think Lynn had this really wild smelling coconut spray or something, and I just did this to mess with people, because they can't figure it out. Like, so I like sprayed it inside of my shoes, and it would just escape just enough that they would just smell a tinge of coconut. It'd be like, y'all smell some coconut? I didn't smell it a while ago, but I know you think I'm crazy, but I smell a little coconut. And it just messes with them. Smell is a very strong thing. And so they're trying to figure it out, like, and they'll look in the can, they'll say, "Is that on you?" And they can't figure it out. It's funny. Just mess
Well, you
with
gave
people.
me some good ideas on stuff to do to Jenny.
And if you burn popcorn to the
Yeah.
point you can still eat it, but it's burnt, of course that smell lasts for a while.
Oh,
And that
I
drives
love
people.
popcorn like that.
People will come in and they'll be like, "Somebody burnt some popcorn." You're like, "No, it's good." And they'll be they'll say, "How could you eat that?" "No, it's good like this. It's not black."
Yeah,
You know what
no.
I'm talking about, Rob?
Well, yeah.
There's a fine line. You got to know how to do it.
Mm. It's about, on mine right now, it's about 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Just 222. And it comes out just about right.
And that
You
just
got that
drives
little
people
bit.
crazy. They say,
Mm.
Would you cook the popcorn too long?" "No, I like it like this." And they're like, "It's burnt." "No, it's not. You want some?" I guarantee you people won't eat your popcorn.
No, but
They won't eat it. They'll gripe about it, but they won't eat it.
see there?
Yeah, that's lightly burnt. And I told you about the guy that I knew that liked burnt cookies. I mean, he actually liked them. I thought his wife was joking. She goes, "Oh no, he loves them." I said, "They're
Yeah.
black."
No, not me. Mm-mm.
It's just like,
I like my
that.
cookies when they come out of the oven and they're still kind of ooey gooey.
I don't like that kind of cookie. That's sissified. It's got to have a
Well,
little crunch to it. A
I
cookie's got to.
know. The man wearing the pink shirt, he's not going to say it's sissified.
It's sissified,
Oh,
and I can prove that it's not the proper way to do it. I can prove that
okay, prove it.
because the Cookie Monster on Sesame Street never ate a gooey cookie. It was always crumbling because it was crunchy. You never saw goo running out of his mouth. So there, and he was the Cookie
I
Monster.
can prove that I'm right. Cookie dough ice cream.
That's ice cream. What's that got to do with a cookie?
It's got chocolate chip cookie dough in it.
Well, I don't like that anyway. So,
Okay.
Tarman.
You don't like anything. They say this.
Yeah, some people like take a bath and stuff, and you can smell it 2 departments away, and you're like, what happened? I mean, or they come through, you never saw them come through, but they left a trail. You're like, man, what's that?
Or somebody
They say, and I'm not old, Rob. I'm not old, and I don't really use really cologne or anything, but they say as people get elderly, they and you really don't supposed to put any kind of perfume or cologne or anything on till you smell it. And that's what some people do. And as they get older, they lose their sense of smell and they just put more and more and more on because they want to smell it in the air or whatever. And it's horrible. So yeah, you can't do that. Just a little dab will do you, as they say. You don't need much.
Well,
some people just,
I bet they're rough when they're wearing the pants.
You just had to go there?
Yeah, you know about that being elderly.
No, I don't know nothing about that. but I will tell you a story I heard this morning. I love taking kids to school, man. It's like the best 15, 20 minutes. It's about 15 minutes, maybe 20. I don't know. I'll say 15. 20 is probably too long because they go to 2 schools. It's the greatest. If they're talkative, because they get to hear the lowdown on who's being a jerk and who's dating who and all this stuff. Like they need to be dating anybody. Who's the jerk teacher? I get all this stuff, from their perspective. So we're headed to the. I've done dropped the middle schoolers off. I'm headed to the elementary school. Had a boy and a girl in the car, and the boy was saying the teacher had me go check on a boy. He'd been now. This kills me. This whole story had me go check on a boy who had been gone to the bathroom for an hour. Like, who doesn't check on a kid for an hour? I mean, like when she gets so busy in the work and like, oh, little Johnny's missing. Oh, well, he went to the bathroom. An hour? So he goes to the bathroom and he goes in and the kid's going, ah! And he's like, he said, is that what you've been doing here for an hour, sitting on the toilet? You've been away from class for an hour going, ah! And apparently the kid was having a bad day. So it was so bad they had to go to the little room, whatever it is, that they get clothes for kids. Because apparently he messed up some clothes. But he had been in there for an hour battling this, whatever he was battling. Poor kid.
He should have been there. He should have been at home.
I know. Like, what's he doing there? He probably told his parent, I don't feel good today. They said, oh, go tough it out, son. That's what my dad said.
Go tough it out. Yeah.
You tough it out.
He had his war face on, dude.
These stories are great, man. I'm telling you. Stories are great.
There's time and a place to have your war face on. School ain't it.
School ain't it. Another thing they talk about, they talk about dating. It's funny, they'll say, he's dating her, or no, he's not dating her no more. And they'll say, one of them will say, well, how long did they date? 3 days. they were boyfriend and girlfriend for 3 days. He dumped her. He's now dating this other girl. So this is stupid. Oh, they cracked me up.
Ugh.
And this morning, the boy says, because I take them, like I can't take them in the morning, like I've got to go to work really early. Most days I take them, but we were returning to school. It's funny to hear kids will tell everything. So we was getting ready to turn into school, and the kid goes, I just was fixing to turn in. And the kid goes, when my mom brings me, this is where she drops me off. Which means across the street, I think, at the store, walking across. That's not where you're supposed to do that. You like that.
No.
You don't want to take the time to pull through. That's
He
not the way you're
wanted to go into the store and get something. That's what he wanted to do.
And the girl said, "Well, why would she do that?" And he said, "I don't remember. I couldn't hear what he said." And she says, "Well, you're with Papa, and you're going around, you're going around the school."
Well, Mom probably didn't have time. She was probably always running late and drop him off across, and he just walked across.
Oh, this was a great morning. And the little girl, she moved up when the big kids got out. She wanted to sit in the front seat. Papa, can I get in the front seat? Sure. She gets up there. We're just turning out in the road, and all of a sudden she's got this, where she's trying to lean up. She's, "Oh no, we've got a problem here." And I'm thinking, what in the world's going on? She goes, "My pants, they're soaking wet now." I said, "What happened?" "We just pulled off." And she says, "My water bottle, it must not have been tight enough, and it's leaked all over me."
Did you tell her, it'll dry out?
Yeah, well, I did. And she couldn't reach it. So we had to like unbuckle her and let her get it, And she's like, "Oh, that's just great. I got to walk into school." And the boy goes, because I was boys are doing. The boy said, "Yeah, everybody's going to think you wet your pants."
And he pointed it out to everybody. Look,
oh, yeah. Oh, man, school.
Oh, that's awesome.
I get the greatest things, man. It's a blessing. It really is. Now, some days they're all in a bad mood. It's like they're just sit there like zombies. And sometimes they'll say, "I'm sleepy," or "I'm mad." I love to get them on a Monday. "Hey, y'all ready to go back to school, kids?" "No."
Oh, you should be the perky, cheerful granddad every day and try to get them to sing songs on the way to school.
Oh, I do that, dude. They look at me like I'm crazy. And Kaylee's like, "Papa, please."
You can be like, "This car is like a bus." And
I did tell them one day, whether it's right, wrong, or different, I just wanted the shock value of it.
Yeah.
So I caught them totally off guard, dude. Totally off guard, going down the road. And I did the old Guns N' Roses on them. "You know where you are?" they looked at me, and I did the whole, "You're the jungle, baby." They're all looking at me, and they looked at each other, and they looked back at me, and they looked at each other like, "What was that?"
Dude, I've got one you've got to do on them. You've got to do on Monday morning when you're taking them to school. You need to get them all in there, and they're all going to be zombified.
Yeah.
And you tell them, say, "Look, this vehicle's like a bus. And you know what the wheels on the bus do? They go round and round, round and round, round and round." And just see if they'll sing with you. Or if they, that might get you hurt. I don't know.
It might. Jen says she knows the morning zombie feeling well. Is that because she sees you in the morning, or is that how she feels? I just wasn't sure on that, because some mornings you're like a zombie on the show. You're like, "Good morning, everybody."
Not very often am I like that.
I remember, dude. You got to go back and watch the first live we did on mornings. You're like, "Dave said this would be a good idea. I'm not sure." I'm not a morning person.
I'm not sure I like this idea.
I think I was being a little chipper, and you were like, "Oh."
What are you? She's laughing. That's not nice.
It's worth it to go back and watch the first 10 minutes of that first morning, Monday morning live we did. I think it was Monday morning. Oh my gosh. You're great now, but that first show or two, you're like, "Oh."
Mm.
I usually sleep a little later.
And I do usually, but you know.
And then that's the way I was Monday because I was sick. Oh, I was
Yeah.
debating. I had the text message on top. Won't be in, dude. I'll watch though. And I was like, I can't do it. I got to go on.
Yeah. So you're not you do it too. So
I do. I do.
yeah.
I saw that too, man. That's pretty cool. That really is cool. And that's what I'm looking for. You know, when they look back on these days and they're going to have fond memories. You know, I always like to say if they come see me as I'm laying in the casket, they're going to have some stories. They're going to say, you know, he
Hey,
just did the craziest stuff.
hey, put that picture of the new Dallas offensive coordinator up. You should dress up like that and walk them into school.
Oh, they would die. The kids would never ride with me again. Can you just see me with a little? By the way, on that, what do they call those things? Those little horse heads on a stick. What do they call that? There's a word for it. I don't know. I call it dorky, but
yeah.
have you seen, dude? I mean, seriously, have the world's went nuts? Have you seen that they have competitions where people run around with those things and jump like they would if they were on a real horse? It is the stupidest looking thing I've ever seen in my life. If it was a bunch of 5-year-olds, I would think it was cute. These are grown adults, dude. They're running around and they're jumping things like the horse is real. It's stupid. I saw that I think it was on ESPN. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Who won?
Hobby horse. Thank you, Tommy. Oh, I don't know. I didn't watch it long enough. I had to shake my head 3 times. I thought I was dreaming. Hobby horse.
I'd have to watch it just to see who was the hobby horse champion.
Tarman, did you have a hobby horse when you were a little boy? He probably said, yeah, I had a broom.
I wasn't trusted with stuff like that.
I'll tell him myself. I always loved music, and I was cleaning the house one day. My mom was gone. Nobody's gone. I had the music cranked up because mom wasn't there. And I was playing something. I don't remember what it was. And I was sweeping the living room, you know. And it was at the point of a solo in the song. And I had the old air guitar going with a broom like I'm playing it, you know, head banging. And my best friend, he's the only one that would do it. He didn't knock. He just opened the door. And I didn't know he'd come in. He goes, dude, what are you doing? I was so embarrassed.
Oh, he had a real horse.
A real horse. I never had a real horse.
Jenny had
a horse, of course.
I thought, yeah. I'm just trying to picture a grown man running around with a hobby horse. I wonder if we get Cook to do that in Walmart. They run up to him and say, I'm Cook from the Southern Fried Podcast. Will you answer a question?
Well, he
Do
does
you
the
like
smart,
horses?
he does the smart cart, so he'd have to like hold it onto it, like he's holding it like a torch or something, and drive, and then the horse could be holding the phone
down in the basket. Oh, what would be really great was if he had a pole there and it could attach it to the front. It'd be like a carriage, and the hobby horse is pulling him.
Yeah, it's easy to get thrown off a horse, Tar Man. It's
I wonder how easy it is to get thrown off a hobby horse.
I don't know. I'm not a hobby horse expert. Well, I mean, come on, dude. We got schools that got cat litter in bathrooms, man. There's kids identifying as cats. And they got to have their own little thing, you know, of kitten litter and all that, man. I mean, there's some schools in America doing that. Oh, my gosh. Oh.
Oh, my gosh. I saw a video of a woman talking about the school was not taking her son identified as a cat, and they weren't taking him seriously. And I was like, oh, it sounds like they're smarter than you. But
that's cool, Tar Man. I've known a poor, starving artist, guitar players who built theirs out of parts that were thrown out of the back of a guitar shop. And actually, one of the guys that did that is George Lynch. He used to he took parts. He was so poor, trying to make it, and he would go to the dumpster and he would pull these parts out. And he'd build guitars, and then he started teaching lessons to people. That's how he sustained himself before till the Dawkins sort of took off. But George Lynch did that. He would just take spare parts out of a dumpster, and it's kind of like the guy on the Waltons, getting all them parts and building a car. I mean, that's what he did. But I imagine those guitars had amazing sound, all those different parts coming together. It's one of one. You can never duplicate. That's the great thing about it. I know every guitar is a little different anyway, even if they're all all look the same. They're all different, but these would be way different. I mean, like they would have. I couldn't imagine the sounds he was getting out of that. Wow. I mean, nowadays he could probably, if he did something like that, he could probably sell them make money. They'd think they were antique or something. And unfortunately, he didn't have any left of them. People ask him about it. By the way, he was talking about bikes, and I was thinking about this. Folks, we still got our news to go to. And by the way, the news is filled tonight. I'm going to tell you. We hit the gold mine tonight. It's going to line up well, Rob. It's going to line up well with stuff we're talking about here on the Southern Fried Podcast. Some of it, not all, some of it. I'm like, wow, okay, that story fits. But anyway, here's the thing. Okay, did you ever own a motorcycle, Rob?
No.
Okay, if you did, I bet Tarman did. If you did, I think there's 3 types of guys in the world, and maybe girls. Girls have bikes too now. But there's the guys that like to ride the bike that has the handles way up here. You see them going down the road. Then you got the guys who are kind of more like right here. And then you got the guys that's leaned over on the little crotch rockets. Which one would you be, Rob? Which one would you be?
I'd be on an ape hanger.
You'd be a what? You would do that?
Yeah, I'd be on the ape hanger.
I can't stand that. That is Brian May, Tire Man, and he is an absolute genius. He is a physicist or something like that. I mean, the guy is uber smart, but he just loved to play guitar. He is so intelligent. He could school a lot of people that think they're smart in the world, but he is the most humble guy, friendly, and just a great all around guy. But yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that part of his story. I've always been a Brian May fan of Queen. His tone is right there in my wheelhouse of tone that I like for guitar. And that's cool. I'm glad you shared that. I really like Cruiser. So what's the Cruisers? What's the Cruiser like? Regular. Yeah. Me and Tarman be the same. I had a Kawasaki 500.
I figured you'd be one of them lean over on the crotch rocket.
I can't stand that, man. I cannot stand those things.
Why? Does it show off your tramp stamp tattoo? That pink shirt pull up a little bit high. I mean, come on, tell me, what is this Wednesday? Oh, I got him again.
Rob's off the chain again.
Well, I figured it's either that or that thong underwear showing,
No. You mean the You mean the floss? Is that what you're talking about? Oh my gosh. This is supposed to be a family friendly show, Rob.
Well, it's friendly, but I don't know.
Oh man. You are not right.
If there was kids out there thinking about
I just want to know. I just want to know one thing. It might be too personal. I just want to know one thing.
Okay.
Did you and Jen date long enough for her to see this side of you? And if so, why in the world did she go ahead and marry you? I mean, I know love and all, but did you fool her? Like you kept the mask on, Mr. Robert Blevins, until y'all got married. And then she's thinking, oh my gosh, what did I marry? This guy's crazy. He's insane. I'm just curious.
How long?
Yes, that is true. Tire Man. He was constantly, and he came up with innovations that nobody had ever done before. Eddie Van Halen. So yeah.
Now,
I think it was the Fender, man. Was that the Frankenstein? I'm sorry, Rob. We got a side conversation going on here. I'm an old music guy, so I like if Chris was in here. By the way, I really enjoyed Chris coming in our chat. That was yesterday, I think it was, and I just love that he's doing better and everything. But by the way, pray for him. They lost their cat, man. He's like really.
Yeah.
What was the cat's name? Is what
Taters.
was it? It was Taters, yeah. And they've had it for like 11 years, and they're sad.
Yeah,
so I mean, the poor guy's went through all these health problems, and then he's getting better. The cat's gone. I mean, he put out another appeal today. Maybe his cat will come home. Hey, it has happened, man. I mean, cats have came home after a long time. So I hope so. I hope so, Chris. If you're listening out there somewhere, I hope so, man. All joking aside.
Yeah. Now, in response to your question.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Okay, I've got an answer for you. How long have you known me?
Oh, over 30 years, I guess.
Have you noticed me putting on any type of mask or anything like that?
Well, that was at work, Rob. People are different at home.
Yeah, but you've seen me outside of work too.
I have.
The only time I put on a mask usually is when I'm up to something.
Well, that's true.
It's pretty much what you see is what you get. I may have been a touch more serious, but
no, I mean, I don't take that the wrong way. I just think it's funny. Like, there's, Jen's got me thinking sometimes like, man, I love him, but guy's crazy.
I have to kill him. I know what she's thinking. I love him, but I'm going to have to kill him.
Of course, my wife says I'm crazy.
Well, and see, here's the funny thing. I'm an extrovert, man. I'll explode on a scene and go. I don't care. I have fun. I like people. I don't. Jenny's not so much.
She's the more serious of the two.
Oh yeah. She keeps
does,
me out.
Does she have a nickname for you? Lynn has one for me. That's repeatable. Does she have a nickname for you?
Not just repeatable. She don't say bad words. She don't say bad words, but I'm pretty sure we don't want to repeat. No, I'm saying.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Honey. She calls me honey a lot.
Honey, okay. My wife calls me beautiful. In fact, in her phone, I don't know if it's still that way. When I would call her, it pops up beautiful. That's what it pops up.
You're a beautiful person on the inside.
Well, most of the time, Jesus has to clean up the inside a whole lot, early and often.
Yeah, but you're a beautiful person on deep down.
Deep down, way down. That was the last single. That was the last single released by Elvis. It was on the radio. Way on down, 1975, I think that was. It's that's a great. My brain's just sparking all over the place tonight. We got to get to news here in a minute. We're going to do a commercial break. We're going to go to news, but this just reminded me that one of the best things, the greatest things about the 70s was this. It was the little commercials or little skits that the radio stations would do, where they'd have ask the man on the street, and the answer would be a song, a portion of a song. Wasn't those great? Oh, those were killer, man. I love those things. They don't do them no more. It was so funny, man. They excuse me, sir, I want to ask you a question. And he would ask him a question. And instead of hearing a guy answer, it'd be a portion of a song, I love those things. That was Jet Fly used to do that all the time up here. I just thought it was the coolest thing.
Okay. All right. Well, let's run us a couple commercials here.
A couple commercials.
And we'll come right back and we'll get to the news. Oh, excuse me.
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry. It just snuck right on out there. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
ARA.
All right. Here at the Southern Fried Podcast, one of the blessed things we've been able to do is partner with the wonderful people at Animal Rescue Alliance, Inc., ARA. These folks are a no-kill shelter in Donaldsonville, Georgia. You see the contact info on the screen. And these folks would love to have you come adopt a dog or a cat. They have folks that come from all over the United States, not just the state of Georgia. They're great folks. It's been a wonderful partnership between Southern Fried Podcast and ARA. And we've been blessed to meet some of the folks that have adopted animals from ARA. Also, we've been able to encourage people to donate and volunteer. They encourage volunteers that are in the area, and they're just wonderful people. We'd love for you to contact them, meet them too, go on their website, see some of the animals, and we know you'll want to partner with them too by taking a dog or a cat to their forever home. Join with us, the Southern Fried Podcast, in support of this great work of the Animal Rescue Alliance, Inc., ARA. We know you'll be happy you did. I know we are. And we're back, or at least I'm back. I thought I'd come in early. The ARA and had the pet of the week go out this today, and that was cute. Tongue in, tongue a little out, tongue way out. That was great. I get a lot of responses on some of the other streams that we put them in. What do you got? Is that the? Oh yeah, I can't eat those. Vinegar and salt.
Oh, these are strong too.
That's your personality. Some days, vinegar and salt. Notice I said that right as you put the chip in your mouth.
I know. Don't think I didn't catch that.
Vinegar and salt. Oh, yeah. Let's do some news, Rob. Let me find the one. Hold on here. Hold on. Let's see where I'm at. Let's see here. Okay. One of these is just I didn't know. I don't know all the McDonald's characters. I mean, I know Hamburglar, right?
Yeah.
Ronald McDonald.
The Fry Guys.
The Fry Guys. I don't remember this dude, but the Mets have made him a seat at the stadium. I hate the Mets. Sorry if you're a Mets fan. The Braves are winning 1-0 right now. We're in a battle with the Mets for the last playoff spot. I'm not a Mets fan. Absolutely not. But have you ever seen this one?
It's Grimace.
I don't ever remember paying attention to Grimace. What is Grimace? What is that?
Big old dumb guy. I don't know what he was supposed to be, but yeah, it's Grimace.
Are you a fan of Grimace?
I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I know who he is.
Grimace looks a little creepy to me.
He looks a lot creepy, actually.
I saw this article, and of course it had to be the Mets, so I wanted to pick on it. And they have the Grimace seat. It's a purple seat to honor his special connection to the Mets fans. So he wears this pear-shaped purple costume and a baseball. What is a pear-shaped purple costume got to do with McDonald's anyway? And a baseball glove on backwards. Grimace threw out a funny-looking first pitch as best he could with those furry fingers and short arms. I mean, Grimace. Well, that's what the article says. Okay. Grimace. You a fan of Grimace? I just don't. I like the purple. That's cool. I'm not being mean. I know it's for kids.
You're chasing you go get in a corner. He never get you with those short arms. Just saying. Could never
Grimace.
Okay.
Okay, but why is he called Grimace? I mean, a grimace, that's like a facial expression, right? Grimace? Is that what? Am I missing something here? What
I don't know. I guess you're supposed to be unhappy. Then he goes to McDonald's, and then he's happy.
Looks like what drips off your hamburger when you get it.
Oh, I wouldn't eat that. Sorry, man.
I just don't. I don't get it. Maybe I'm not supposed to. I'm not a kid anymore. But
I never was a big Grimace fan. When I was a kid and I got a Happy Meal and I had the Grimace toy, I threw it away.
I swear I honestly do not remember that one. I just didn't pay attention that much. And I don't remember Grimace. I just don't. And I don't. I mean, the hamburger I get, Ronald I don't know. Ronald McDonald's, he's kind of creepy anyway. But
you know who the first Ronald McDonald was?
I do not.
I'm going to double check this, but I believe it was Willard Scott.
Willard Scott.
You know who that is, right?
Yeah, he's the weather guy, or was.
Yeah,
I don't even know if he's still living.
I don't either. Willard Scott from 1963 to 1965. He was the first Ronald McDonald.
We're just full of useless information. I would have never got that. It's amazing what we retain in our brains. I didn't know that. Willard Scott. Well, you got to make a living somehow, you know?
That's right. But Ronald McDonald looked a little different back then.
Yeah, he went through some iterations. He did. He definitely did.
That first one was kind of creepy.
All right. Let's get back.
No, dude.
Now, the first Ronald McDonald?
Yes.
I've seen it, but I don't quite remember what. I'll have to look it up, but I don't remember how creepy. The whole thing is, you know, I'm not a fan of clowns anyway. I don't like clowns. I don't.
Dude.
Too many pervs, man.
This is like Hannibal Lecter type creepy.
Good grief.
This is horrible, dude. I
Put
gotta
it up on the screen.
I'm trying to, dude. I don't know if we really want to put this up there or not.
The history of Ronald McDonald.
I mean, this is Hannibal Lecter creepy here. I'm not kidding. It is bad. Okay, I'm gonna put it up on screen. Oh my goodness.
You got to be kidding me.
You got to take that thing down so we can see it.
All right. That's creepy.
That is Hannibal Lecter. That is right on line with Hannibal Lecter creepy there.
Wow. Imagine that coming to your door at 2 a.m.
Oh my gosh, he'd be shot. I'd be screaming Hamburglar.
That's bad. Yeah, that's bad.
That's Hannibal Lecter creepy. That was worth putting up. Oh my gosh, this one here's not any better. Oh, we got to just get off the Ronald McDonald. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on. I think Tireman said something to that. Real okay.
He did. All right, let me go back to story number 2. It was not. I mean, it was a big deal, but it's a bull got loose in a parking lot in North Carolina. But there's the runaway bull. But what gets me about this story is that he has a name like Roger. That just, why would you name a bull Roger? And they said that Roger is friendly, but likely to flee if approached by strangers. I've been around some bulls. I have. I never saw one that to me would be a Roger, nor did I ever trust the friendly part. No, bulls are crazy. They'll turn in a heartbeat on certain. You just never know. To me, Roger. I mean, does that not sound weird? Roger the bull. I mean, that don't even sound right to me, man.
I guess it's better than damn it. Come here. Get out of the way. Get in the trailer.
Yeah, they were looking for him. I mean, I don't know where he went. I don't know why they're showing 2, but maybe there was other bulls. Maybe that was where he was from. That was a pre-escape on the parking lot. I mean, can you imagine coming out of a Target or whatever, you know, and all of a sudden there's a bull running across the parking lot?
Look, that would be weird. But why are you scared of a bull? A bull and a cow, they're both huge animals, okay? If they want to hurt you, they're going to hurt you. You're not going to outrun either one of them. You know, just don't worry about it.
Well, bulls are a lot meaner. They can be. But can you imagine what like let's say you were coming out the door and the bull's coming that way, do you hold the door open for the bull so he can go in?
No. No, I wouldn't want to be responsible for that, Bill. There's a reason why they make that reference to a bull in a china shop.
I'm just saying, if he was in a dead run, would you take the time to close the door, just hold it up when he runs on in? You could say, I was scared.
You could, but it would hurt somebody inside.
Well, I know that, Rob. Come on, man.
I'm way too nice for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm sure you are.
Now, if we was at the sheriff's station, I might have to hold the door open.
Oh, man. No,
Could
no,
you
no.
imagine the massive amount of mayhem that would ensue if a bull got loose in the sheriff's department? You could run in screaming behind him, "Don't hurt Roger, he's friendly."
Or what if somebody was riding him like Otis did in Andy Griffith, three shoots to the wind?
Yes. Yes.
Food and water for me and my horse.
Yeah.
Come on in, sir. We have a room just for both of you. Roger. I know that's probably somebody, who knows, a pet name. Maybe a kid did it, but Roger. I ain't never heard of it. I've never heard of any animal called Roger. Any animal called Roger. Never.
Well, you've heard of one named Chuck Norris.
I have, but that's not Roger.
No.
Maybe he's like 007,
I had a Siamese cat when I was a kid named Russell.
Russell. Okay, Rob, did you ever take off with a car when you were a kid?
No.
Neither did I. However, an 8-year-old took off with a car and made a target run of 13 miles.
Oh my God.
And did you see the name of the town? I don't think that's yours, but look down middle ways. The Target store in what? Bainbridge.
Oh, wow.
I don't think it's the same one. It's Ohio. I'm messing with you, but it's funny. Wouldn't that have been amazing if that tie-in? Wouldn't that be funny?
She told the officer she had struck a mailbox while driving, but nothing else. They did not say why she decided to travel to the store. Well, the girl is too young to be charged criminally, the police said. It wasn't clear Monday if any charges would be filed in the matter, which remains under investigation.
There's parts. This is one of those stories that you just wondered about, and maybe the parents were totally innocent, or what if the parents were bombed out of their mind, and they sent her on a beer run? I don't know. I mean, you never know, man.
That kid may have wanted some gummy bears. We don't know.
Eight-year-old.
Dude, did you see her going to the store and getting some gummy bears and then go back? What if she didn't get caught and she made it there to make her purchase and made it back home and nobody knew?
That would be wild. Tarman, I would like to let a loose in Walmart. He would for stupidity. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. All right, I got 2 stories left, and they both hit on things that we have talked about in the last 2 weeks. This is amazing that this news popped up. So the first one I'm going to go to, and this is outside the country, but I thought of our folks down in Bainbridge since we're speaking about Bainbridge and this whole monkey testing thing. Let's pull this up. Well, first of all, I'll show you this picture. You can see the scroll is kind of in the way. There's a couple of little monkeys down here.
Okay.
A couple little monkeys. Let me go back to my other one. So these tourists have kind of ruined the monkeys. But they say the monkeys from this temple in Cambodia could be sent to a breeding farm that export the primates to laboratories for use as test animals. Exactly what we've been talking about, dude.
Wow.
And if you go down the middle part of that article, this is from the AP, the middle part of the article, it said sending them to a breeding farm is exceptionally cruel.
Yep.
I thought that just jumped out at me, man. Because the people feed them food they're not supposed to. They've really, but they're saying, well, we're gonna have to just round them up and send them to these monkey farms, which means testing, animal testing. And as he said, exceptionally cruel.
These are wild animals. Whether they've been given food or not, they can still go out and find food.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Ain't it amazing? Before I go to the last one, we're gonna have some fun with it. But isn't it amazing that a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people that say that, let me take this down, that a lot of people that say they love animals and stuff are the same dumbbells that do what's the worst for animals?
Yes.
There are many people like that. They say they love animals, but they absolutely do the worst thing for the animals. They're dumbbells.
Yeah. Feeding wild animals is never a good thing. You know, that's one of the things when I was talking about alligators down there in Florida that's in the subdivisions. You know, they get fed and they lose their fear of people. And then people start complaining when they start attacking. Of course, we've already taken all their habitat.
What's your feelings about? What is your feelings about this? I've seen these videos before, and I'm not talking about a kitty cat or something. You're in the woods, you're hiking along, and you see the natural predatory part of nature at work.
Yeah.
You see the predator, and there's these people. They love to show these videos how they rescued the animal from the predator, like they're a hero. That's the natural order of things in nature, Rob. How do you feel about that? Like, would you free the animal, or would you just leave it alone and let it take its natural course?
It would depend. Normally, I would let nature take its course. But if it's like, if we're down in South Florida or something and it's one of those invasive species, I'd kick it off of it. We don't belong here. Just saying.
How would you know it's an invasive species at that very moment?
Well, a Burmese python is pretty evident.
Well, you just said, I mean, you didn't say what it was. I mean, you might not know.
Yeah, I mean, if it's something that you can recognize, iguana, a monitor lizard, there's all kinds of invasive species down there. And if you see that and you recognize it, kick it off. We shouldn't be here anyway.
I get it, but I think in a lot of these cases they need to let nature. I mean, that's just the natural order of things, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I saw the bobcat or a hawk or whatever on a rabbit or something, then the rabbit's food, and you may not want to see the poor little bunny get eaten, but it's going to get eaten. But, like the Burmese pythons and stuff, they don't even belong here, dude. And they're
I
taking
know.
over.
I know. I agree. I agree on that. I mean, I know what I'd do to them.
Yeah. Catch them
I
and
know
put them in a
exactly.
sack. Huh?
No, they're not going in a
Put them
sack,
in a
dude.
sack and go get that bounty. Huh? Yeah.
Well, yeah, there are people doing the bounties, but somebody found what was it, a 16-foot one here
Oh,
that was in the
man. Yeah.
news.
Mm.
Massive, man. And it was in
That
their
was
house.
horrific.
It was in their house, dude.
That was a reticulated python, too. Those things get huge.
I
They get
couldn't
bigger than
imagine.
that. Mm.
I couldn't imagine. Let me catch this Brave highlight real quick. I think we just hit a home run. It was tied at
Did we?
1-1. It's 2-1. Maybe that was a double. Anyway, it's 2-1 in the top of the seventh. The Braves leading The Cincinnati Reds. Actually, I think they're trying to decide if that was a home run. I think it's a home run. If you hit the yellow, it's a home run.
Yeah.
They got 2 on right now. They're calling it a ground rule double, but I think that's a home run. I think they're reviewing that one. Okay. Now this is a great story for one reason.
Okay.
I was right and you were wrong.
Let's hear it. Is it about the Chupacabra Day?
It is. It is, dude. It is. Let's go. Let's go. They have a sighting, and they don't know exactly what it is, but they think it might be the Chupacabra.
Yeah.
And it is in Texas, dude. In Dublin, northeast of Dallas.
Dublin's in Ireland.
I was right and you were wrong.
Who would let that ugly thing? It's a skinwalker. What? It's supposed to be a vampire. Now it can't be. Now that proves it's wrong right there. It can't be a vampire and a skinwalker. Come on.
No, they're just people guessing different things.
Oh. So it may not be the Chupacabra.
It may not be, but that's the closest they can come to what they think it is.
Well,
because actually, that don't even exist, right? There's no alien, no Chupacabra, no skinwalker.
I'm just saying. Just saying. You got to bring the Chupacabra into the thing here if you're going to do it now. It's a notorious blood-sucking cryptid from American folklore.
Folklore. And you said it was Mexican folklore.
All right. Look up what Chupacabra means.
I'm just telling you what was in the story.
It's Mexican goat sucker.
Yeah, baby.
They're not supposed to let them things cross the border. I'm telling you.
And that is way, way into Texas, man. That's like way up in Texas. Dallas.
No, and it goes to prove it. They'll let anybody in this country now. I guarantee you he ain't got a green card.
He don't have a work visa either.
No, Trump needs to deport him.
The Chuka. I can't believe it. Like we're talking about that, and this article pops up. It cracks me up.
That's a coyote. That is a coyote, dude.
It could be.
It's just a hazy picture. You can see half his face there.
It
it's
could be.
A coyote. A skinny coyote, but a coyote. He was hungry. They can't tell a Chupacabra from a coyote in Texas. My goodness. I'm disappointed. Yes. And what about the Rougarou? They got any pictures of the Rougarou?
No, they didn't have any of the Rougarou. Didn't have it. Well, they didn't give him the home run. They double, 1 out. Still 2-1 though. They need to blow this game open.
Yeah. Don't give them any hope. And then they beat us last night.
Crush them. Love Rougarou. Yeah. Louisiana Rougarou. It's just funny. We've been going on and on about that, and then I got to share that. Crazy stuff, man.
The Chupacabra, Dave. It's not a Chupacabra, Dave. It's not a Chupacabra.
I told you, don't put your face in the camera saying that, and don't whisper like Joe Biden. That creeps me out.
Don't wear a pink shirt like Kamala.
She don't wear pink. She wears the pantsuit. She wears dark colors usually. Dark colors, pantsuit.
Yeah, the pink's too feminine.
You know, Hillary Clinton was the. I think that's what she wore every single day. She never, nothing wrong with wearing them, but she was always in them. Like she never.
I think I saw a picture of Bill Clinton wearing a kilt or a skirt or something. It was probably a kilt, but
probably crazy.
Of course, Biden wore a Trump hat, so
Well, he did. And what did the guy call him? You old something. He was kind of cutting up with him when he put it on. I was
Yeah, we probably shouldn't say what they call it.
some chin music. Just got some chin music in the game.
That's
Fast
high inside. Okay. So
I'm hot.
we got some people in here on X and all that. Hey, y'all sound off. What baseball team do y'all pull for? See if we can get y'all fired up tonight.
By the way, yesterday was the first. I think it was yesterday. Yesterday, the first day we went live on Instagram, and today we got live on Kick. We had to figure out there was a little problem, but we're now on about 7 different streams live, and that's cool. That's cool. We've got to get we got maybe another one coming in the future. We've got to get to certain levels. And with Instagram, it only go an hour. So first hour is Instagram. Then they must sign off. Remember when all the channels used to sign off at night?
Yes. Yes. They played the national anthem.
Yeah, you watched it all the way to it went shh.
Yeah. It'd have all those color bars up there, and they played the national anthem. Then it'd go.
And that's the same screen that the girl was looking at on the TV in Poltergeist. They're here.
Greatest movie ever. I'm sorry. One of the absolute greatest movies ever. And the very end of it, when they're at the motel, and he shoves the TV out the door and slams the door behind it.
Oh, yeah.
Loved it. Loved it. I laughed. Uh-oh. He's a mythical wolf-like creature from Cajun folklore that is said to prowl the swamps of Louisiana. All right. The rougarou is described as having the body of a human, the head of a wolf or dog. It is said to be between 7 and 8 feet tall.
Tarman, that's just your normal LSU fan. I'm sorry I had to go there.
These people in Louisiana.
I know. Well, you bash Alabama. I love you, Louisiana. I love you. Appreciate it for watching the stream.
Sounds just like Bobby Boucher.
Hey, things get crazy down there on a Saturday night, football Saturday night. You know, it's a little scary down there. Who knows what's crawled out of the swamp? Do what?
Put that picture back up.
Which one?
Of the chupacabra. Dude, that could be the rougarou. It's not the chupacabra. It's the rougarou. Wait a minute. I got to take that off there so I can see what we're talking about here. Let's see here. Oh, put it back up. I just got my picture off of it where I can see it now. Yeah. Yeah, that's a person with the head of a dog or a wolf there. It's the rougarou. They let it out from Louisiana and it went to Texas. You can really see it down in that bottom picture there. Oh yeah, that's definitely a person with a wolf head, dog head. Yeah, it's a rougarou. Okay, I'm done. I'm done now. Take a picture of the rougarou down. Yeah, Texas is close to Louisiana. Yeah. You know what Tire Man just said?
What did he just say?
You just lost Louisiana and LSU.
Dude, we've already lost Alabama because Rob keeps bashing them.
Hey, they don't.
You know what? I will tell you what. To all the Louisiana brethren, you can cut up with them. They'll bring it right back, and they love it. We don't lose them. They're fun. I've been at games with them, and they play hard, and you can trash talk, but at the end they'll come up and root. Even after they lose, I've had them come up and root us on to beat the next team. And we just had a ball and we shook hands and whole groups of them, man. I was up in somehow I got seated with a bunch of folks, LSU fans. We gave each other a hard time, and then we won the game at the last minute. And I said we're going to be in trouble here at the end because we've been getting pretty hard. They come up and said we had a great time, shook our hands, wished us well. It was very cordial. Yep. It was great. You can't do that with some fans. You can't, but I felt their fans.
Alabama fans are like that. That's just it. Some of the Alabama fans you could joke, and some of the Alabama folks you could joke, cut up with, and they'll shovel it right back at you. And that's all I'm after. I don't want them to get back on me. I like a good laugh, even if it's done at me. You know, there's no point getting your feelings hurt. If you're going to throw it out there, take it back. And I love it when they shovel it back at me. It makes me happy.
Makes me happy. Be happy.
That's Don't worry. And sometimes, you know, people do things and say things that you just have to respond to. Like pronouncing colquitt, you know, in the northern feminine way. And then they wear a pink shirt to boot. And then they talk about how they don't ride the lean over crotch rockets because it might show their tramp stamp or their floss.
Just
and you just line it all up and you just like it on.
Hi, this is Roy Cook. A friend of mine, Dave Cordell, asked me to do a song for Robert Blevins. He's in the Southern Fried Podcast, Cornbread Nation, and it's the Barney song. So I'm going to do the Barney song. I love you, you love me, we're a happy family, with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say I love you too? Well, there you go, Dave. The Barney song.
You were saying, big boy. I didn't have the Barney song sung at me with a kiss.
No, but you did have Baby Shark.
No, it wasn't Baby Shark.
Davy. Baby Davy, do.
Oh, our boy Cook, our man on the street, roving reporter, Cowboy Cook.
Yes. You know, we got to get out there one day, and we got to top that. That was absolutely the most amazing thing I think we have had happen on a Friday night show. Was him going around Walmart on the scooter asking questions.
He's now telling people about it. He told my sons about that and their cousin because I was telling Josh about it. Josh. Oh yeah, I saw Cook. He was telling us all about it. He loved it.
We should get your sons, Cook. No, your oldest boy won't do it. I bet your baby boy might get up there with Cook and go around, both of them on scooters.
Oh my gosh, that would be fun. Josh is like, you know, he wears the overalls. He's got the beard, big old baby boy, and he's crazy. Josh is crazy now. He'll go on with you. He'll go on with you.
That would be funny. But, you know, if they went someplace, you know, a little bit more upscale, like what if they went up to Hamilton Place?
Oh, they'd run you out of there.
You think so?
Well, it depends on what you ask.
Yeah.
Because if you were, because there's a wide range of people that go there. And if you tried to ask the wrong one, they're going to get security. I guarantee. And you might even get a 40 drawn on you, man. I'm telling you, you just never know, man. I wouldn't do him like that there. Walmart's one thing. They got crazy, but you don't never know. You don't never know.
All right. Well, we still need to send them someplace more upscale. Target wouldn't work. I know where they need to go. And they'll both be all in for it. It's going to cost us about 30 something dollars. We need to send them to the Golden Corral.
Oh, that fit right in there.
That all you can eat buffet. We'll have to pay for their meal, but get them go around and ask questions and stuff like that while they're getting their plates and stuff. Yeah, yeah. Of course, they
Oh
go
yeah.
get. I see the manager come out. You'll be here for an hour.
Dude, you sounded like the Chinese manager. You didn't sound like the Golden Corral manager.
Well, he is Chinese, isn't he?
No, he's not.
How
No,
do you know?
because I
You know,
know him.
huh?
I know him.
You'll be here for an hour. You scare my wife.
You eat too much.
Eat what you get spelled with. Eat more vegetable. Eat broccoli.
Oh, I was down. Remember the Evergreen? Was down there in Fort O for a good long time. Well,
Yes.
all you can eat buffet. Well, they had their one night a month or one night a week. It might have been one night a week where they had the oh, what was it? The stuff you crack open.
Crab
Um,
legs.
something. Dude come in there, that's all he ate, nothing else. He's got a pile of shells and stuff on his table. You know they had to be back there just cussing that guy. Can't get rid of him. He's eating all of them. We make no money off this guy. I could tell they were not happy. I could tell. I could
Yeah.
really, really tell.
That was a really bad Chinese accent, by the way.
That's okay. That's okay. What do you expect? I actually wasn't really trying to do one because, to do that, Rob, to do that is offensive. So you don't want to do that. So
you know, when people go to like a Chinese buffet and everybody starts, oh, you want chopstick? Oh, you want sushi? Oh, you want fried rice? They start talking like Japanese people or Chinese people. And in the back room, we're like, oh, here you go. You're like, oh, fried rice. And when they go in the back room where we can't see them, they're going, oh yeah, I want a cheeseburger with some mayonnaise on it. They start making fun of us when they get in the back room.
oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, when all the tubbers come in, I mean those that are really carrying around the spare tires,
Yeah,
they probably just shake their head like, God, these people. We make a lot of money on them. They like to eat.
yeah, they're probably like, trying to help us along with all that greasy, was it MSG and all that stuff in there? Yeah, yeah,
Maybe it's a plan to get rid of us.
it probably is. They're probably secretly North Korean.
That is true, Tarman. I had been there several times. There was two restaurants there, one and then another. One had the big hamburgers. I can't remember which one, but I've been to Larry's. Yeah, it finally shut down.
I've been to Larry's too. Yeah, I used to manage a meat market down there in Trenton.
Really? I didn't never know that. I didn't know that.
Trenton Food Outlet. The owner loved me. Not. Dude, have you ever went to call somebody and start giving them a hard time and then realize that you dialed the wrong number?
Now you do what?
Have you ever called somebody and started giving them a hard time and then realized you dialed the wrong number?
No, I never done that.
So when I was down there, I was calling another market manager and had my phone up and he answered and I said, hey, sweetie, what are you doing? He said, what? I said, Hey, sweetie, what are you doing? What? I said, John. Hey, sweetie, what are you doing? This isn't John. And I pulled my phone down and I had called the owner.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I said, well, I think I'm going to hang up now and call my sweetie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've had that too, Tire Man. Hey, keep it going,
Yeah,
man. I got to check on my dog. I'll be right back.
I've had people try to argue me, Tire Man, that they had the right number when they had the wrong number. Yeah, I generally have a lot of fun with that. I don't like getting phone calls anyway, trying to get me to buy stuff, and then when they try to tell me I got the right number when they got the wrong number, that's when it gets a lot more interesting on my part. You know, I'll really start. Well, maybe you do have the right number. What was your name again? Where do you live? You start having fun with them. You just got to ask the right questions back. You know, and so David's gone to check on his puppy dog. And the puppy dog was pitching a fit. David must have took his shoes off or something. That's bad. He's probably still got that coconut spray on him or something. Driving the dog crazy. It's not nice.
I hear you talking.
What? I didn't say nothing bad.
I was going to take care of the dog.
Oh, okay. My first cell phone number was one number different than the Psycho Award at Erlanger.
That's great. Man, could we have some fun with that?
Oh, yeah. No, the arguing about the right number, that one. Oh, when that happens, you can just have a lot of fun with that. You've got the wrong number. No, I don't. This is the right number. Well, maybe you do have the right number. Who are you trying to reach? Who are you? Where you live? Wearing anything? I mean, just start having fun back with them. You can make them hang up. Uh-oh. That's a serious look. What are they doing?
What?
The Braves, what are they doing?
Oh, they're winning. But the problem is the Mets are winning too. Braves are winning 6-1. And at bat with a runner on. But the Mets are winning 9-0. You just stay with them. I mean, that's good, but we need them to lose.
Yeah.
Marcell Ozuna has 100 RBIs this season now. That's a good accomplishment.
Yes.
Oh, this guy
they lost half their team.
Oh, I thought he crushed it. He just hit it real high.
They lost half their team to injuries.
Well, not half. I wouldn't exaggerate that far, but they did have some injuries. My dog, Kaylee's dog, is having a field day. She's crying for her mama. Kaylee's not home at this second, and she does not like it. So she is not happy.
Now, Tarman, when they called you for the people in the Psycho Award at Erlanger, did you ever have any fun with that? Please tell me you at least had some fun with that. You had to have at least a little bit of fun with that. I would have had to. I'd have been
what is the police call for that, the 5150 psych ward?
No, I'd have had to have been like, thank you for calling the Erlanger Psycho Award. My name is Nurse Ratchet. We got just hang on a minute. Jack Nicholson's around here somewhere. From the one who flew over.
Was that supposed to be your female impersonation there? That's kind of weak, Rob.
No. Any female impersonation I do is going to be because I'm masculine. And I don't wear stuff like pink shirts and stuff. And I bet you could do a really good impersonation with a female voice. Let's hear it.
No, I can't. But I was just saying that That was weak. That was
Okay.
weak, man.
That's what you'd expect from a good-looking masculine guy like me, you know.
Masculine. Dude, you
You know.
described yourself as a younger with flaming red hair. That doesn't sound masculine.
Oh yeah, but it was hot. It was flaming. Being your first cell phone, you wasn't really good with it.
That means you
So
locked it up all the time and messed it up. You had to go get help. Fix this thing
I
for
thought,
me. I don't know what I did.
what was the learning curve on a flip phone?
Oh, flip phones wasn't bad.
Oh no, his first cell phone. That was one of the ones you carried around in the big container like they had on Lethal Weapon, the first Lethal Weapon movie that was made back in '80s.
My first cell phone was a Motorola. Very nice phone. I liked it. Like Carrot Top. I love it.
It
I
wasn't very
love
nice.
it.
It wasn't very nice, Carmen. It's okay though. I said it
Hey,
used to bother me. It don't bother me no more. You know why? I don't got no red hair no more. Except for
folks, tomorrow we do have an interview, if all goes as well, with the election official who's going to come and talk about election rules. Oh, I got to tell you, dude, this is so funny. My son, my oldest son, he's never voted. He just never wanted to do it. He's afraid of jury duty, all that. I'd give him a hard time about it. But he came to me, he said, I want to vote. I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote for Trump. So I said, great. So I said, you can do that online. So I'll send him the link. So I was going into work today. He said, are you here? I said, yeah. So he comes up and sees me. He said, hey, I followed that link. It said I was already registered. I said, what? So I said, let me look it up. So I looked it up. And sure enough, it was saying, because I went through like I was going to register him. It said this name and social security number. It's already registered. So these comments. So I said, looked at it, and it was 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. They said he registered, never voted, so it ain't like somebody went there and did something wrong. So he said, I never went down there, Dad. How in the world did I register to vote? And the only thing I can figure is that when he went to, he switched counties. He switched counties, he moved.
change his
So,
license.
well, and you can do that at the driver's license place. I bet either they did it for him or he checked a box he didn't mean to check, but he's been registered for over 2 years. He didn't know it. I said, you're good to go, man. I want to see an old picture of Robert with the flaming red hair and one of Tarman with the flaming red hair and do comparison. So like age like 25, 22 to 25. I want to see that picture. Manly men.
Men. Sorry. I will get you a picture of me with red hair and shorts on, if you like.
What's the shorts got to do with it, dude? I mean, like I don't even know why you throw that in there.
The muscles in my legs, the manly muscles.
I didn't say I wanted to see your muscles. I said I wanted to see the flaming red hair. I didn't want to see no shorts. There's no telling what kind of shorts you'd have on. No,
white shorts.
I don't want to see your.
I'm not gonna. When I was 25, I wouldn't be wearing the old man swim trunks.
Oh, so you have to go way back to second grade to see your flaming red.
I may have something from the second grade. I don't know.
I don't want to see no shorts. I mean, come on, man.
Well, it's not like it's perverted. People wear shorts all the time.
I didn't want to see your legs, dude. I mean, it's probably a scary scene. I just, flaming red hair. I mean, you're short and stubby, so I mean, they're.
Did you just call me short and tubby?
Stubby, not.
Oh,
Like you're like 5'2", right? Something like
No,
that.
I'm not 5'2". About
I
8
think
inches
you.
tall.
I think you and Tarman are about the same height.
No, I'm 5'10". 2 inches below 6 foot. I'm on the tall side of short.
The tall side of short.
Yes. And you're what, 6'2"?
I never made 6'2". I was 6'1" and a half. I'm now 6'1". I'm elderly now. I've lost a little bit of height.
It's that osteoporosis or whatever.
Porous.
Osteo, yeah, making you shrink. You know, calcium deficient. You know, you need to start drinking more milk, Dave, and eating more honey, milk and honey. Hey, we all gonna be eating that before long.
By the way, they got the Stand Up Bainbridge group got some coverage from WTXL about the meeting tomorrow night. They thanked him for the coverage. Where is W? Is that a Bainbridge television station or radio station or what are they?
Let's see here. I'll see if I can find out.
It is.
W.
It's on their site. I'm reading it now.
That's out of Tallahassee.
Tallahassee. So I'm glad to see they're getting that. So they're getting. That is great.
That's awesome. Yeah. We covered it before y'all did, knuckleheads.
We did. Maybe we started something.
Maybe we did.
You know that video, the interview has a lot of different views, and no telling where it's gotten forwarded out to. Man, I mean, you just never know. Somebody said, "Hey, this is a story that's
Yeah.
getting going."
Let's you're on the short side of Dave.
Short side of Dave.
Well, let's see. How many views does it? How far? Where's that
We're
little
up
thing?
over 3,200, man.
Well, I know that, but it was a good one. Well, I can't look it up on this one. I don't think. I gotta look up on my.
It was at 3222. It is now 3242. So it will sometime tonight go over 3,300 plays. So
Yes.
it has. People have done a great job. Keep forwarding it out. Watch the video. Keep the pressure on. And Rob's going to be our man on the street, boots on the ground, whatever you want to say. Hopefully, he can get us a couple of interviews, or we'll just have to see how that goes. I love it. It's great.
Yeah. And we like getting out there and doing that too. So,
By the way, I don't know if you saw that on the stream. I'm real proud of her. My 16-year-old. She's the first grandchild to get her learning driving permit.
oh, she scared you yet?
And I'm a no. Well, I hadn't Jeremy, but in that picture, she is smiling with a thumbs up. Keely it's hard to get her in a picture smiling. I love that picture. You just don't know how shy that girl is. She to this day, she's 16 years old. I mean, that girl will, if it's in a crowd, she just clam up. But privately, she'll talk to you. But she's shyer than her daddy and her mama put together. I mean, it's.
Oh. She got it from both sides.
Yeah. Yes, some podcasts do bad. They do. We, on the other hand, are trying to do good. What is truth, justice, and the American way?
No, when we first started, just so everybody knows that when we try to operate above board as honestly as possible. We tell people like it is. People that deal with us, we're straightforward. We don't hide nothing. We don't do cutthroat interviews. We go in there. We want to help. We want to be a service. And yes, we get on here, and me and Dave joke, cut up, give each other a hard time. And Kaylee comes in and photobombs him. but it's fine. Uh, we want to be of service, and that's what we do, and we want to do good with this, and that's why we pray. We ask God for direction. Uh, we cover stories from both sides. We try to be as fair and even-handed as possible. Um,
We do. We do.
and that was our goal from the outset. And we've been successful.
Sorry. One more photo bomb we have.
Ah, that's your best friend?
This
Oh,
is
yeah, he posted
Aria.
these on YouTube.
Okay. Hi, Aria.
Hey. Memory card is
Well, I'll deal with that in a minute. Let me get off this show.
But we deal openly and honestly with everybody, and we wouldn't do this if we couldn't do it that way. Neither one of
Yeah.
us. And we do it on our terms. And if someday we get canceled because we pray or we talk about God or whatever,
Yeah.
we're not changing. So, but as we go through today, let's remember. Speaking of prayer, let's remember Sugar Britches Daniel's wife is having surgery tomorrow. So
11:00.
yeah. So tell you what, let's bow our heads and pray right now. How about that? We can do it. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the blessings that you pile upon us. Many of them we don't even realize that you're doing. And you work in our lives in a mighty way. We ask you to be with Daniel's wife tomorrow, Miss Sutherland. And we ask you to be with her in a special way. Guide the doctor's hands as she goes in for surgery. Give her peace. Give Daniel peace. Give their whole family peace. Give the doctors the skill that they need to get through this surgery. And we pray that she has a quick and speedy recovery. And for anybody else out there in Cornbread Nation that's having these issues or having problems, we ask you to be with them. We ask you to be with our veterans. Lord knows, 22 to 40 a day. Be with them, Lord. Guide them. Get them some help. Get them to the people who will help them. And dear Heavenly Father, we pray for peace in this country. We ask you to be with our leaders, be with the people, the citizens of this country. Help them get out and have a desire to vote. And let your will be done in all things, dear Heavenly Father. And we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
But there's
Waiting for prayers.
There's something else that we have got to talk about tonight.
What's that?
Oh, the pager bombs. That is the greatest thing ever.
The what?
The pager bombs.
Yeah, I'm
a fan. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now. I'm a fan.
I'm not sure on this one. I'm not sure on this one.
You're not sure on this one? Well,
Well, let me give you this disclaimer on that. Listen, I know that they have people that have vowed to annihilate them and kill them. The problem is, and they've done this forever. But usually it was cell phones and stuff, but they would take out the terror leaders in the car. But this was all over the place, and they not only got terrorists, but they got other people too. And I don't know on this one. This one might have went across the line, and
maybe, but you know
just
what?
say that. I just think because they were in grocery stores and different things when these went off, and I think I know the other side crosses the line all the time. I do, but I just think we have it's like America. There's things we shouldn't do, even though our enemies would.
All
We
right.
don't want to cross the line because we don't want to become what they are. There's
Right.
There's a time to blow up the whole building. Yes, there's a time. You got them all in one place, and they've been killing your people and like they have. But when you start hitting people in all sorts of places, and there's all these people around that have nothing to do with it, and they're getting killed and injured, and you know me, I'm a big supporter of Israel. I
Oh, I
just say
still,
that I think that this one might come back and hurt them. I don't know.
well,
I'll just say
okay. Number
I'm just
one,
saying.
Israel hadn't claimed this.
No, they haven't, but everybody knows they did it.
Okay. Number two,
It's a Mossad hit. I mean, come on.
okay. And number two, they were very careful about, they knew who had these things, had these devices. They knew.
Well, sure they
They just
did,
said, look, they knew who had them. All right. Now,
but that's not the
this is
problem.
in, this is in an enemy country.
It's not a country.
Well, you know what I mean. It's over. Well, it's Lebanon. What?
Well, some of them are in Lebanon, but there are other places too, I think. But this,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I
So,
don't know, it is a country, but
yeah.
it's controlled by a couple of countries, I guess you'd say.
And the people that are controlling it, like Hamas, and that's who they were targeting. And they got some higher ups too, dude.
I said it's
I,
where they
I, I
were at when they did it.
yeah. And in the Bible, you know, where was it? I can't remember. Where there were the people came in and raped all their women and stuff, and they said, okay, well, we'll get you circumcised, and then we'll all be together. And then when they got circumcised, they went in and wiped them out.
Jacob and his sons.
Yeah, this is kind to me is kind of like along that level because you know where you normally carry your pager, you know. But I'm just saying, I get it, I
Well,
understand
well,
it.
well, let me, and I know you're not going to go on the same level, but let me put that in a little different way. What if these were terrorists that were in the United States and we hit them like that? That we did that, but we when it blew up, they were at the workplace or the hospital or the grocery store or the school, and other people got killed or hurt. It's a lot. It's a lot of damage, a lot of collateral damage, and there are people that will say all those people are guilty. I think you got to be careful painting that
Yeah, you
brush.
don't want to judge them.
And
All
I
right.
think that's the problem here. I've never seen Israel hit. Usually, this is a one-off. It'll be they're after one person or two or three. They wait till they're all in a group. They call the number. They pick it up. Boom. This has been they've done this. But these are different. These are pagers, and they're not. People don't even really know exactly what they did here. It's still being debated how they did this. It just okay. It's fascinating in one way. How did they pull this off? But I just think you have to be careful because when you hit like that, and um, that you can turn public sentiment against you across the world, and it
At
could go.
this point, at this point, across the world, they don't have any allies anyway, hardly, except for us. I mean, they've got a
Well,
few, but the whole world's against them.
I understand that. I understand that, but we're not talking about firing on a enemy that marched in your country. You went into another country, and I know they're about terror operations, but we've hit people in other places at cars and buildings and stuff too. We've done the same thing, but we haven't done this. I don't see that. I just said I'm not telling anybody how to think or believe on it,
Yeah.
and I'll just say I'm a big supporter of Israel, but Israel has got Israel can be heavy handed, and I get why, but you just can't go across a line. You better
I
get back
think,
across that line, and I think you got to be careful here. It's like the mentality of some Americans that say carpet bomb them all. That's a bad mentality. We talk about our
yeah,
enemy because you know what? There's everybody there is not your enemy. There are people there that are Christians. What would you say if some of the people that were killed that were standing next to people was the
oh,
pastor at the local Christian church? Because there are Christians in those areas.
yeah. But let me throw another slice of cheese on this sandwich here. All right. They knew roughly where those pagers were going. They knew who ordered them. They set this thing up and they acted on it. Now, these are the people that were not the rank and file of Hezbollah or whatever. These were the upper echelons. They're going to give these instructions out to others. All right.
All these
For
people were not upper
a
level.
chance to get the opportunity to act against that up there, the upper echelon of them, and to do it this way, it threw egg in their face. It took out 9 of them, and yeah, it injured thousands. But I've seen the explosions, the aftermath of some of these. If they picked it up to look at it, it's going to hurt them. It's going to hurt them. But these explosive devices that they had in there weren't that powerful. It's not going to reach out 15, 20 feet. It's going to get you right here. That's what it was made for, right here. Or down low if you didn't take it out of your pocket.
But
yes,
people standing by them were injured, and killed.
Yeah, some of them. But they're at war with Lebanon. They call it Hamas. You can call it.
They're not at war with Lebanon. They're at war with Hezbollah.
Hezbollah.
It may be a puppet government. I mean, Syria has basically fed weapons, but Lebanon's been a mess for years. And maybe Hezbollah's just because they live under fear, Hezbollah will kill them. But it's not a declared war on Lebanon; it's a declared war on Hezbollah. So there is a difference. There is a difference to that.
Well, you can say tomato and tomato. I think they did right, and I think they did good with it. And there may be a price to pay for it, because that's kind of a sneaky, underhanded way to do it. But my goodness, how many times have they fired?
And where does it stop?
Well, how many times have they fired missiles into Israel? How much collateral damage has there been for that? How many innocents have been killed?
I'm never going to defend those folks for what they did. I'm just saying Israel better be careful, because once you cross a line, you can cross that line too much. I'd say the same thing for America.
Yeah. Okay, I can get that. But this is really
it's like
country is about the first time they've done that. Really.
Let me spin it a whole nother way, and I'll just use America. Is there any doubt in your mind that if an American was taken hostage by the North Koreans, that they would torture them mercilessly? No. Would it bother you if we had North Koreans that we took, we arrested them or found them or whatever and we tortured them? How do you feel about that, and to what level? Because the question has come up about the waterboarding. Some would say we got valuable information out of that. Others would say it's a horrible practice, that there's something wrong with it to do another human being like that. And do we really want to be that type of people? I think it's a certain kind of people that can do that. There's a lot of people who can't do that. And what damage are you doing to yourself if you're that type of person? I don't know. When you get down in the muck, I mean, it gets ugly and dirty in America. We have done some tough things. I just think you can cross a line and you just become your enemy.
You see, my whole thought pattern is, if it's war, it's war. You do what you have to do to win. It's war.
I think you gotta be careful with that thinking, Rob, because when that statement that you just said. That statement that you just said can be taken in a lot of ways, and I think you have to be careful with that.
It can be taken in a lot of ways.
You're saying what you were saying is I would do as my enemy does to win.
But sometimes when you're in war, you have to get dirty. You cannot stay perfectly clean when you're in war.
Let me frame it a different way. What is winning? What is winning?
Already lost if you're at war. But if you complete your objectives, then you accomplish the mission. You have to complete the mission.
What is the mission?
Whatever your superiors tell you that is.
That's what I'm saying. It's a moving target. What is the mission? What is Israel's mission here? How far do they go? I mean, how far does America go? What is the mission? We need clear, defined mission goals. I don't think you got to announce them to the American public because you don't want to tell your enemies. But what is the mission? Sometimes we've not been very clear about our mission either, and we've got ourselves caught up in a mess. that you
Yeah.
can't win.
Yeah, that was something.
Afghanistan became a mess. What was the mission? The mission became our boys died and were injured because that mission was not clear. More died and were injured than should have because it's a dirty business. Yes, but what was the mission and how far do you go? You need clearly defined goals, and they chose goals that were not winnable.
Yeah.
And Israel has to be careful here. Israel is surrounded by hundreds of millions of people who hate them. You can't kill them all. I know they would say, well, they're just trying to kill the leaders, but they just elect new leaders. It's like roaches coming out. You took out 9 leaders or whatever. You know what? They've already replaced those dudes. They're already replaced. So what have you accomplished? What is the mission? That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying that their mission is to sit back and take it.
Starman, you cannot eliminate all terrorists. You can't do it. Tell me how you do that. You can't do it. I'm a defender of Israel. I'm saying that they're going down a road right now that is going to cause, if nothing else, regional war, but something where they can't sustain it. And if their allies pull back from them, they can't afford it. They don't have enough ways to get the weaponry. It's going to get ugly, and you got to be careful of that. What is the mission? You can't. What do you mean, like David and Goliath? That's one guy against one guy. This is not. You've got hundreds of millions who they can just arm them up, and you can't stop that. You kill 5 million. There's 100 million more coming. Again, what is the mission? I don't argue. I'm just saying. Oh, I get it, Tar Man. But what is the mission? And it's like I'll give you an example. It's like there were battles in the war between the states where the enemy was being dropped they stacked up like cordwood. They were dying by the droves. They just kept sending more. And they realized something. We don't have enough ammo and we don't have enough men. We're losing men just as fast as they are. We don't have enough men to replace. So what is the mission and how do you sustain that? Israel has to answer that question. I'm not saying they don't have a plan.
A deeper plan on this.
What I'm saying is they're fighting a war on 3 fronts right now. Hamas, they're fighting Hezbollah. Iran is sworn enemy that's already sent things their way. They're fighting against them. And they're fighting in Syria. It's been going on for a while. They've been bombing and taking out targets in Syria. And you've got the Palestinian Authority on the West Bank. It's been relatively quiet, but they're always itching to get into the battle. And what happens is all of a sudden there's declared a holy war on Israel from every Arab nation or surrounding Israel. World War III, baby. I mean, again, you got to be careful with this. And it's just like here, the media is going to roll out the kids, the burnt bodies and the decapitated bodies from them kind of attacks. And they're going to make Israel look like the worst thing ever. And you lose support internationally.
Okay. Now, I'm
I get it, man.
I'm going to frame this. I'm going to throw one more frame in here on it. So they come in to a music festival and take how many hostages and kidnap how many people and mass murder how many?
I get it. But are you going to become your enemy? Are you just going to carpet bomb your enemy? Because that's what this sounds like. Well, just kill them all. You can't do that. There comes
a point in time where you have to say no more. And yes, there was some collateral damage on this. But yes, they got a lot of the leaders. And yeah, they may pile some more back in there, but they sent a message. Don't do this to us. We'll do it right back. I mean, come on. I mean, they killed how many hostages? They just found another.
Exactly, Robert. What you just said. They hit, you hit, they hit. And this is where we've been. And it's a continual cycle of violence. At some point, you've got to come to some sort of agreement to ceasefire and stop
the
hostages.
They're never going to agree with Israel on anything.
No, but that's not true. They have had some agreements. They have had. That's absolutely not true what you just said.
How many times are they still going by them? Or do they have some agreements and all of a sudden we're not going to do that anymore?
Some of them.
Yeah.
The sworn enemy to their southeast was Jordan, and Jordan and Israel were bitter enemies at one time.
Yeah.
Israel has had sustained peace agreements with the Hashemite kingdom of Jordan for decades now, and they
Yeah.
actually work together on intelligence. They're still not buddy buddy, but those agreements have held. Israel had agreements with Egypt that had held for a long time until the brotherhood got to going, and it's calmed down now. They've got some agreements with them, and I don't know if you know this, but Israel supplies the power to Gaza.
Yeah.
They water, power. They have agreements, and Israel actually ships in food, and they just control the gates and try to control what comes in and out. I get it. The terrorists are going to do what terrorists do, but you just can't continue to annihilate women and children and old people. You can't do it. It's going to turn on you. Then you're starting to get into international law, and it's going to turn on you, and then you could be at the Hague. I'm just saying.
I would like to see the
Yeah.
count of innocence on this one. I'm not judging them for doing it or nothing like that. I'm in full support of Israel like you are. I don't want to see them go down a dark road that they can't come back from. But just for me personally, I think the egg in the face that they got from what they did is going to go a long way, and maybe it won't. I don't know. I don't know. This is something here you and I can argue about for weeks.
I'm
We're
not
both
arguing about it.
got our heels.
I'm just saying you have to be very
Yeah.
careful. I'm not taking a hard stand.
Yeah.
And if you think that, I'm not. What I'm saying is what I said in the very beginning. Israel has to be careful here. I didn't say that. I just said this may have crossed a line that pushes them further deeper into something that they may not be able to get back from. So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know, and I don't know who's innocent, who's not. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
you can't use, and this is a point where you can't use the old adage, kill them all and let God sort them out. And I understand that. You can't do that.
By the way,
But
there were Western countries today that voted for an arms embargo on Israel today. And you can say they're siding with the terrorists, but that's what happens. And Israel can't, they have to have the support. Thankfully, several countries remained their support. The United States did. But there is a number of nations that have voted for this.
wow,
This is what I mean. And let me I'll send this to you.
it's going to be.
I'm just saying, you got to be careful. Because they hate Israel. They certainly do hate Israel.
And that's in the Bible as well. It's going to be the whole world turns against them before it's over with.
Well, yeah, but we don't know exactly when that is, and I just think they have to be careful. And here we are in election season, and
Everything's internal.
Well, it could draw us in, absolutely draw us in. I think we have supported them, mostly to a point. We haven't all enough, but I just think that it's just one of those things they have to be careful. I think we have to be careful. Yeah. Are we comfortable with what what we're doing in Ukraine? And there's talk that any day now that this administration is going to let Ukraine send the weapons we've supplied, which will reach further into Russia and be bombing Moscow. Do we want that? Does that cross a line we're not comfortable with? These are questions that have to be answered.
Yeah. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me see what you sent me there. There's a lot of questions on this. There's a lot of stuff that. This is one of those things you and I can discuss it, and it's raise one, and we discuss stuff.
I would just say that probably diplomatically, behind the scenes, what has been said is that okay, we understand you took out some leaders, but this went further. It did some damage. It's being used badly, and a lot of countries are now making a stand. You might want to cool it for a little while, Israel. Just cool it on that front with Hezbollah. By the way, Hezbollah dwarfs Hamas. They are much more powerful. They have many more weapons, an endless supply of money. We hear about Hamas all the time. Hezbollah is a whole different animal. And it will Oh, I know, Tarman, and that's what I'm saying. What are we comfortable with? I mean, we're right smack dab involved in this because of our support. I don't want to see Ukraine ran over. I don't want to see those. Again, it's not easy answers. It's not, because war is ugly, and at some point, it just gets ugly, 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 ugly. War is bad. It's horrible, and I get it. They provoked. They've done this. I get it, but you remember the image from the Vietnam War? You remember one of the most famous images? And you know what turned, and I get it, we don't have to talk about all the Fruit Loops and everything else that was going on as protesting on college campuses, but do you remember the moment that the Vietnam War really took a bad turn, and everybody hated it and nobody supported it, but they had already invested so much into it. They were trying to, it's the little girl, right?
Yeah.
Running naked that has been hit by the napalm. That image is one of the top 10 images of all time. It gets shown all the time. It sickened people. It sickened people that are home and they're not involved in the war. And the other one would be, and it's controversial. We've talked about it. Is the dropping of the atomic bombs on Nagasaki and the other place. And there were people said we crossed the line there. I've talked to military veterans that said it was the best thing we should have done. We got out of the war because of it, and they gave up. I'm just saying there are people going to be on both sides of that. I support Israel, but I think you got to be real careful.
Well,
Got to be real careful.
You and I respectfully disagree a lot of time, or not a lot, but sometimes. And I think it's one of those circumstances where I agree with what they did, and you're probably do agree down deep, but you're saying they need to be more careful and not present an image, not an image of where they don't care. They're going to go. They're going to be just as merciless as their enemies are. And I don't. I don't believe Israel would do that. I know they have the capability of doing that, but I think there may be more underlying to this than what we're seeing as well.
Maybe. But what's being shown on the news is, dead kids and old people. I mean, that's what they do, right? And I would
Yeah,
bet there's a lot of people in Israel that have problem with this. There's a lot of people that's for it, because you're going to have that type of people on both sides. That's why it's great what we have here. You point counterpoint. We're both making points. I just said I'm not coming against Israel. I'm not going to do that. But let's face it, Israel leadership, and Israel's not a Christian nation. Israel's leadership is not. They're not Christians. They don't believe
no,
in Jesus Christ, and they can be heavy handed too. And they'll go get their man, no matter how long it takes. I get that. You don't want to mess with them. But we
yeah,
are going quickly towards end time events. I think you got to be careful. You don't want to become that type of person.
and let's touch on one last thing. It's got nothing. Well, it does, but these times that are coming up are scary. And people of faith, y'all need to pray. We all need to pray. Uh, it's coming. It looks like to me. I mean, they talk about it all through Revelations, and I'm not going to get into all that. I'm just going to tell everybody, if you do not have Christ as your Savior, contact somebody. Get the Bible. Go find somebody. Learn. Accept it. You need to. And whether the end times comes today, tomorrow, or 100 years from now, you still need it.
Amen, Tar man. There's already been issues with the nuclear facilities in Ukraine, and they have hit some targets in Russia that were near nuclear facilities. There's definitely danger there. Israel has nuclear weapons, but they've never admitted that they have nuclear weapons. But everybody knows they do. And if it got really bad, Israel would use those nuclear weapons to defend themselves. And then, my gosh, where are we at? So
Yeah.
that's what I mean by that. If you go past the line too much and the dominoes start falling, we could all be pulled into something that nobody wants, and then there's no way out. And unfortunately, when the drums of war get to beating real hard, sometimes it's really hard to get the band to stop playing
Well,
because nobody wants to lose. And again, I'll go back because I think it's the most important thing it was said. What is the mission? What is the mission? I would say you're right, Tar Man. They're wanting to get as many as they can in the leadership and disrupt their communication and their ability to function. But I think that's like killing rats.
well,
They
here's
just
the
find
thing.
more. They just breed. You just find more. You can't change people with bombs. You got to change people. You got to defend yourself, but bombs will not change hearts. I'll just say that. Jesus Christ is the only one that can change the heart.
Right.
Now, acts of
And
kindness and all that too, but that's what I'll say on that. I'll end on that.
yeah, well, let's just both ended on that one for tonight because that's a good place to leave. We'll leave it in Christ's hands. He's the one that changes things. And bombs don't do it. Can make you go, ooh, but yeah. Jesus makes you go, ah.
And Israel does a lot of that too. I'm proud of them. They try to help all their neighbors. They send disaster teams in. They'll send aid. They do that stuff. It doesn't get reported enough, but they do that. They're some of the best search and rescue people in the whole world is in Israel. I love them. I mean, they've gave some of the greatest inventions in history to the world. If it wasn't for the Jewish people, there's so many things we wouldn't have. But
Yeah.
there is that part of Israel, man. It's they got a different agenda, man. It's
And,
power. It's like in our own country. We're dealing with people that absolute power, absolutely
yeah.
corrupts. And I think that you could see that in Israel at times. You can.
And a lot of people say that Israel's not our friend. All right. After 9/11, what was the first thing? Who was the first people that showed up?
Well, I think they've been our friend, and I think we've been a friend to them. We have been
Yeah.
a friend. I mean, Richard Nixon said horrible things about Jewish people when Golda Meir came, and she made the call for help because they were surrounded. Nixon ordered 24-hour 747 stripped the seats out and airdropped things they needed, including ammo and stuff in. He took a lot of heat for that, but he did. And she said that he saved them, and they, for all of Nixon's problems, he was considered a righteous Gentile because he helped Israel to that point. But he was the first one to criticize and talk bad about him in his recordings. It's horrible, but he did stand with them. Harry Truman, I mean, he decided to vote for the establishment of the nation of Israel in 1948. It's a whole nother one. There was, every Arab nation, wouldn't vote for that, obviously. But we have been friends to each other. There has been moments that we've not been friends. I mean, we have Jonathan Pollard locked up for spying, and Israel's not happy about it. Never has been. They don't believe he was a spy to that level, and they want him released. We never have. And it's a sticking point in there. It causes testy relations. The president of the United States at times has tried to force the Arabs or the PLO and Israel to play nice, especially back when it was Yasser Arafat. Remember all the Bill Clinton, he's trying to force them to shake hands and all this. But there were some agreements that came out of it. Some of those agreements were bad for Israel. Absolutely. Most of them are harder on Israel than they are the other way. In fact, a lot of terrorists have been released in this hostage deal. They're trying to get some of them back, so they have released. So there is a give and take there, and Israel has tried to do things to get people back, including, set free some terrorists back to them, more aid or whatever. I mean, I just think you have to find ways to do that. You got to keep the warmongers out of the room enough that you can put the people in the room that can make negotiations and calm the others, soothe the savage beast and say, let's pause. Let's stop. I mean, at some point, Gaza has got to do something with it. It's not all of it, but a bunch of it is in ruins. It's destroyed now. And they did it to themselves. I get that. But at some point, this humanitarian crisis has to come to an end. It has to.
But here's, until every hostage was released, or they recovered the bodies where if they've been killed, I wouldn't deal with them. The several. It's not just me, but a lot of the people, like the one that escaped and then they released him later on. Everybody there was against him. There was no way out.
But you have to deal with them, because if this sworn enemy is all they're going to do is kill and whatever else, you're not going to get them back. They'll just kill them. But through negotiation, we might be able to get some of them back. What you do is you send in someone who has a strong enough presence with these people to say, oh, little brothers, I side with you, but you've got to stop. You've got to calm down. You've got to release, and we'll get prisoners released. But there has to be somebody come into this, and it's not going to be Biden, and say, we've got to stop. And they're of such a powerful presence that they will listen. They may not like it, but they'll listen. And we got to get back to some calm. Doesn't mean there's going to be trouble later. Sure there will. But let's get some calm and take care of humanitarian issues.
I think if we go the calm route, they'll kill them all anyway. They already are.
But I'm saying you can't get to them without them being dead. So all you're going to do is just kill more, and you're not going to get them anyway. That's why I say at some point we have to come. I mean, that's like Russia and Ukraine. What's the answer? Yes. One side they say one thing. Yes, the other side they say another thing. War continues. What is it? 3 years now? 4 years? Continues. At some point, you have to say, listen, for the betterment of the world, we got to calm things down. We got to stop. We got to stop. And we'll work to get these people back or the bodies recovered. But we got to stop. After all, Rob, how many people are missing in the Korean War, American soldiers?
Mm-hmm.
Did we get them all back before we stopped the hostilities there?
No. But these people here could be alive, and they could have been alive then too. But I'm
just saying. We did come to a not an end. It was never declared a war, but we have the DMZ, and there's always those pressure points, and we try to recover bodies and stuff, and some success, but at some point that war had to end, and this one has to as well at some point. Okay. And you're probably not going to get them all back before you do that. And the only way to do that, honestly, would be to go in and just remove every single person out of Gaza and take full control of it. The world's not going to let you do that.
Okay.
And they've already told Israel, don't even try.
How many overtures for peace?
Oh, I get it. Tons.
How many times has it been thrown up in their face?
Tons. But you can't stay in a continual, perpetual war. You have to get to some point where we get peace for a while at least. And there has been times where it's not full scale war.
Peace for a while. I can go along with that. There's been times when they've had.
I'm not saying it'd be great. I'm not saying they're going to sit around and sing Kumbaya and shake hands. So we have to come to some kind of an agreement.
But see, when you get these agreements and you cave in and you do this stuff and you give and you give and you give and you give up and you do this, you do that, you're trying to make everybody happy so we can have a little bit of peace, then stuff like the music festival happens.
But does Israel not have some blame there? Did it happen that bad? Where was the security? How did they pull that off? The supposed best intelligence force on the face of the planet. How did that happen? How? They bear some responsibility, not for the actions of what they did, but that, if you got the enemy there, I mean, where's the security? That's the same thing I'd say on our border. We have to do that. We got to defend against. We're under attack. Young girls are dying and people are being raped and sex trafficking and all that.
Yeah. Well,
we can say these people are evil, But we got to secure our border, and so Israel has to take some blame there that they didn't secure themselves enough from these monsters.
How is our intelligence, United States? I'd say it ranks up there pretty high.
It ranks real high, and Israel's intelligence in America usually works together. There's been times that they probably withheld information.
So how much? So we should assume part of the blame for 9/11.
Well, absolutely.
Okay.
How did these people come in and go to flight schools? It was very obvious they were only interested. They didn't want to learn the whole thing. I mean, we bear responsibility. Where's our intelligence on that? I mean, even the flight instructors were like, they didn't want to know everything. They just want to know how to get take the plane in the air and do things. I mean, red flags everywhere. Where's the FBI? Where's the CIA? Where's our intelligence service, NSA or whatever? There has to be some. They just have to be some. Well, I get it, Michael, but if you put the right kind of armament there, you just annihilate them as they try to come. And there were hours before response. Now, it was an intelligence failure, and everybody in Israel knows that. There's going to be huge investigations that are already underway. Heads are going to roll on this. They're just trying to get through this thing here. But you're right. We missed it. That should have never happened in America. We failed. We know these people hate us. How did we ever let all those people get in and get control of planes? We do bear responsibility for that. Why do we lock our doors at night? Why do we have guns in our home? Why do we tell people to get off our property and enforce it? Why? Because we don't want our home invaded. We don't want to be hurt. We don't want to be stolen from. And so there's times we might say, "Well, I let my guard down," and so we can't do that. We've got to be ever diligent to stop the animals and the evil people that want to hurt us.
Oh yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting, but we'll see where it all comes out in the wash. So all we can do is sit back really and watch and wait. And
I think there's more we can do. I think we can pray, and I think we do need to pray for this. We need to pray for both sides, and we need to pray that the killing stops on both sides, and that and there is innocent people. There is innocent people that are there. There's people there that's stuck in this that not want to be stuck in it, and they want it to end, and they don't want to live like that. There are people that are just evil in there, sure, but there are people that they don't have nothing to do with that. They live in fear because even if they try to stand against it, they get killed by their own because they're terrorists. So there are innocent people that are suffering and dying right now, and I'm just saying that's a line that crosses. Let me put it this way: everybody, and we're gonna have to end it because it's great. It's a great discussion, and we'll come back to this. One of the things, and you can throw tomatoes at me. You can throw tomatoes at me. I get it. We just secure our border, yes, but it has been stated that everybody coming over the border is a killer. That's a lie. That's not true.
No, everybody that's coming over the border is not a killer, but the killers are hiding it amongst them.
But they're making it sound like they are. There are just those people that want a better life. I'm not saying that we should just let them come over the border. What I'm saying is they're just people trying to get their family into the greatest country on the face of the planet and make a decent living and raise their family in a democracy and all that.
And I got no problem with them doing that legally.
Legally, absolutely. But some of the narrative is that all the people that are coming across are from insane asylums and part of the gangs and all that. There's a lot of those, sure, but not everybody. That's ridiculous. You've got women that are carrying the Plan B pill because they know they're going to be raped several times coming across the border from people on both sides. This is a horrible thing. The sex trafficking, the kidnapping, and all that stuff that's going on. We bear responsibility for that. It's happening on our side of the border. We've allowed this to happen. Shame on us. Shame on us.
I need to fix it. But there ain't but one way to fix it. Shut the border down. You have to come through here.
Put the resources there and do the best you can to enforce
and why don't they want to fix it?
Well, that's a deeper subject we have time for right now. But I agree. I agree. We've got to enforce it. Most humans are just want the same things. Most humans. There are evil people out there. Yes, there have been programmed to hate, whatever. But most people want the same things. They do. They want to have a home to live in. They want to have food on the table. They want to have a job where they can make money and support their family, raise their kids, send them to college. Most people want that. Sure, there's the people with their hands out, but I'm going to tell you what, there's people, I mean, all of us, all of our families are immigrants. We came from somewhere and we put our nose in the grindstone and we made something of ourselves in this country. Our forefathers did that. Mine came from England and my mom's side from Ireland. And they came here and they made a new life. And, that's the greatness of America and what we offer. But we can't let everybody in. Of course not. And surely we don't want to let people in that are evil. But most people in the world, they don't want nuclear bombs dropped. They don't want hydrogen bombs dropped. They don't want people being killed by the thousands. They want peace, because who wants to live in a war zone? Nobody. Honestly, nobody. Except the people that are evil and want to just perpetuate war.
Well,
I'm a strong on that on defense, man. I'm not a peacenik that believes you don't ever pick up a gun and defend yourself. No, I'm very strong on defense. A very strong defense will keep us out of war. Absolutely.
All right. Let's pick this back up next time, as I'm going to have to make a run here shortly.
For the border?
Yeah. For the border.
For the border.
Hey,
this is great. I love it, man.
Yeah. We'll keep going on this.
Wednesday night, we're just usually crazy and laughing. This is a very serious discussion, but I like it. It's good.
Hey, I'm going to let you take it. I've got to run. I'll be right back.
I've got to go. So I'm going to say good night.
Good night. Love y'all. God bless.
All right. Good night, folks. Don't forget tomorrow. We do not have a morning show, but we will be live tomorrow night with a special SFP news desk. We're going to talk about some political things tomorrow night. And also Robert's going to check in from the meeting in Donaldsonville about the monkey farm and what's going on with that. And so we'll see what happens with that. I anticipate around 7 p.m. Could be a little earlier. Not sure, but it should be by 7, if not just a little bit earlier. It depends on how things go tomorrow. Have a great night. Pray for all the things we said to pray about. Pray for us. We need prayer too. And there's a lot of people suffering right now and hurting with lots of things in their lives. So we appreciate your support, and we appreciate somebody coming in here and listening to us. It always amazes me that people will do that. But have a great night and God bless. And we'll say shalom.
Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show.